I'm not going to sit inside of a corporation for 20 years. The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
So many people are just so obvious. They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And, people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do. And I'm like a motivation of the doers. If everything I did failed, which it doesn't, it actually succeeds. But if everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. And I'm not trying my hardest, and I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get.
I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth. It's about information. It's about awesomeness. And the only luxury is time, the time you spend with your family. That's the only luxury. So this concept of luxury is improper to me. When I compare myself to Steve Jobs or Walt Disney, Howard Hughes, David Stern, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Jesus, or whatever it is, I'm saying these are my heroes. These are people that I look up to. This is the type of impact I want to make on the earth. If I can make this type of impact up to this point, what can I do if you call Bob Iger and say, yo, give him a shot? If you call Oprah and say, yo, back this kid. His parents were educators. He wants to educate. He wants to look at curriculums and say, how do we simplify that? Exactly what I did in music. I want to apply to product. I want to apply to education. This is what my company Donda is about.
There's a series of, people who write just negative comments. They want to joke around and say, why is he still trying? Yes. If I see something, I see an opportunity, I'm going to go for it. I'm here to crack the pavement and make new grounds, sonically and in society, culturally. We're not always in the position that we want to be at. We're constantly growing. We're constantly making mistakes. We're constantly trying to express ourselves and trying to actualize our dreams. I want to create something better for you. We have been limited.
It's bigger than, who I am, even in this, in my presence living. It's about, when I was on earth, what did I do to help?
I want people to think more. I want people to feel like it's okay to create and follow what their dreams are and not feel boxed in. I want people to feel like awesome is possible. There's a lack of creativity in every field because people are afraid. As an artist and in this world, we can do whatever we want.
So you're going to love me or you're going to hate me, but I'm going to be me.
Once, an entrepreneur was in debt, owing money to his creditors and suppliers. Stressed as he was, he decided he'll take a walk. As he was sitting on the bench with his head down, thinking of a solution that could save him from bankruptcy, an old man with a strange hat approached him. "Is there something bothering you, my friend?" The old man asked. The businessman told the old man about his financial problems. After listening to him, the old man said, "You know what? I think I can help you." He asked the entrepreneur, "What is his name?" and then took out a pen and wrote him a check, which he gave to the man, saying, "This money will help you. Let's meet again exactly in 1 year, right here in this same park. Well, at that time, I hope that you'll be able to return the money to me." After that, the old man just walked away. The entrepreneur took a better look at the check in his hands and was shocked. The check was for $500,000 signed by John Rockefeller. Rockefeller? "One of the richest people in the world," he exclaimed. This check can solve all my problems in no time, he thought. But he decided to put the check into a safe and use it only if all of his other efforts had failed. Just the thought that he could access these resources at any time was enough to give him strength to focus on finding smart solutions to save his business. The return of his optimism was a great thing because it helped him close some very profitable deals. A couple months later, he had earned enough profits to get out of his debt. Then his business started making money again. 1 year later, he put the check in his pocket and returned to the park. Around noon, the old man appeared again. The businessman took out the check. As he was about to hand it to the old man, a nurse appeared suddenly out of nowhere and grabbed the old man and said, "Here you are. Haven't I told you about bothering people again?" she exclaimed. "Excuse me, sir. I hope that this gentleman wasn't bothering you, sir. He always runs away from the house and tells people he's John Rockefeller." Surprised, the entrepreneur was standing there speechless. During the whole year he was building his business, buying and selling, his confidence that he had $500,000 in the safe overtook him. Suddenly he realized that it was not the money, real or imaginary, that put him out of trouble. It was his new confidence that gave him the strength, the motivation to achieve anything that he had now. That's Barry Powell, 99 Inspiring Stories for Presenters. Let's get it. If you're new to the Impact Secret Podcast Show, welcome to the family. To my existing family, big up as always. Thank you for joining. On this podcast show, we shift the mindset through inspiration, motivation with a standing foundation of self-discipline. I am your respectful host, ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, listen, I'm just going to tell you, it just simply means Ed. You know the motto, the slogan that we live by, that we go by here. Bet on yourself. You won't win unless you get in the game and play. One of the quotes that resonates here on the show by Bob Marley: "You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have." Again, Bob Marley. Something that I really enjoy that has captured me is living means doing what you love to do, even if you have to fall to get back up. One question, two thought-provoking statements. First question, family. When are you still trying? When are you still trying? First thought-provoking statement. Letting perfection get in your way. Letting perfection get in your way. And the second thought-provoking statement, getting in the door. Getting in the door. Today's episode is entitled "The Code of Kanye. The Level of Effort and High Belief." Again, the code of Kanye. The level of effort and high belief. Well, family, as you always know, it's time for me to put on my working gear and get to work. So let's unpack those clips. Now, I don't care what your thoughts are or feel about Kanye. He's one of my favorite artists, not just from a musical standpoint, but from a belief standpoint. See, what happens is, family, in life is that we are put in a box and we're told what we can't do. We are told more than what we can't do when we become older, or become of an adult, versus when we were a kid. You see, as growing up as a baby, we weren't told we can't walk. Just imagine if everyone would tell their baby, "Hey, you can't walk." First of all, I don't think the baby would listen. And second of all, the baby will keep trying anyway, just because they don't know no better. See, I think We have to get back to that we don't know no better. I know I need to get back to that I don't know no better. See, that I don't know no better is just simply saying, yes, I respect your thoughts. I respect your opinion. However, at the end of the day, I have to live for me. At the end of the day, I have to live for a legacy that I want to create and that I'm building. Because if I don't, there's only one life to live. If I don't, and I'm sitting in a retirement home. I was actually listening to a book, and I'm going to have to go back, so I may have to requote this again, so I'll just paraphrase it. They were doing a study. This nurse was doing a study on people that were in retirement homes. And one of the number one thing was regret of something that they wanted to go after or do, but they went a different route because it was safer, or because they made up excuses, because you know how we'll do it, family. We'll say, well, we'll wait until the kids leave the house, or my favorite one is, we'll just, we need more time to educate ourselves, or I need to go get a degree on this. But at the end of the day, none of that really matters. You need to use the resources that you have and continue to grow, to go. And I said go, not grow, but yeah, go, because it makes a lot of sense. Just imagine if you said, you know what, I'm not going to allow all of these excuses of why I can't do something, and I'm just going to start small. And whatever small looks like, if it's growing, if it's starting a business and saying, you know what, I'm gonna give myself 3 years or 2 years or 5 years. But it's so much of that you can get rich today type material or information out there, or buy my ebook and in 10 days you're going to be a millionaire. If that's so true, family, why there are not more million and billionaires out here in the world? Well, it is because of the fact of that it's misleading information. You get excited about what you can do. So this is when belief has to come in. See, when I was preparing for today's show, I became super excited, because what I understood is that when you start working on your belief, and it's a daily thing, and you can't just do it every once in a while, because I notice when I lock in on my beliefs, when I lock in what I know, I'm not what people think I can do, what I know I can do, I feel a different presence about myself. If I say, I'm going to go do this, I will do it. It's just a whole point. And don't mix in someone done frustrated me, or don't mix in someone done made me mad, or don't mix in something that's happened in my life in which it makes me go harder. Oh, now you in trouble. Now I tap into what Jordan was talking about in that Last Dance mentality. Remember, I told you about that, where he would use certain little things like that to psych him out to help improve his game. Because when you get to a pinnacle like Jordan was, he even said it. He said, it wasn't about the other player. It was about, I'm competing against myself. How do I get myself better? This morning when I was getting out of bed, I felt extremely sore, and everything in me was telling me, man, just go back to sleep. Man, this bed is comfortable. The fan is blowing on you. Air conditioner is on. It feels so good. Don't you agree? And I'm like, yeah. So the first alarm went off, and then the second alarm went off. And then I said, you know what? I have to get out this bed, because I'm not just living for myself. I'm living for the legacy. I have to deliver this show. I made a commitment of saying I'm going to be here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I changed the show because I was doing it every day and I enjoy doing it every day. But there are other things that has attracted me and got me excited. And I also wanted to pour more time into the show. I felt like I was hurrying and rushing because I wasn't taking the time of building up the momentum. I wasn't taking the time of really going deeper and deeper in research. And that's why now, instead of me being able to produce a show in an hour, it's taking me 2 and 3 hours, because of the fact of I'm trying to find the best audio clips. I'm trying to find the best message, and what are people dealing with? Hey, what am I going through and dealing with? And one of the things that I've seen is a lack of self-belief, and a lot of that can be driven from what people have said about you or said that you couldn't do. And a lot of that is things you've been rejected from. There's things of fears of, what if I get out here and I make myself a public figure? What attack will I get? What happens if this happened? What happens if this? And we start going down that trail of beating ourselves up, in that trail of disbelief. I'm not the best, I'm learning the Bible, like maybe some of you out there that does study the Bible. And what arrested my attention was I was reading something about the birth of John, about John the Baptist. And what got me was when one of the angels came down and talked with Zechariah, and he was like, listen, you're going to have a baby. And when you have this baby, these are the things you need to do or whatnot. And what got me was, Zechariah was like, listen, I'm kind of up in age. My wife is up in age, and I don't really know about that. I don't think, matter of fact, I got a better question. How can you be sure of this? And what happened was Angel Gabriel was like, well, okay, so you don't believe me? Good. Okay, you won't talk until this baby is born. And just imagine if that happened with ourselves, meaning that we started, if we asking questions like that, because we do it, family. We ask questions like that all the time. Like, you're starting a new project and you're like, how can I be sure this is going to work? And I think what you're missing is, and again, family, I'm just as guilty. That's why I'm enjoying today's message, because it speaks not only to you, it speaks to me too, because this is an everyday thing. Being inspired, motivation and motivation, but putting the self-discipline principles in place, it's an everyday thing, like taking a shower when, every day, or I don't know how many times a week you take a shower. But what I'm basically saying is I'm calling motivation and self-discipline hygiene factors. It's part of your hygiene, meaning that if you don't entertain it, there may be a day where if you skip it multiple days, multiple months and weeks, you'll find yourself back in the same mental space you were. And see, the reason why it's important for motivation and inspiration with a foundation of self-discipline, meaning you do the things, you just don't get so excited and you don't take action, is because it's gonna help you grow. I can't tell you what I think. I can only tell you what I know. But going back to what I was talking of, this Bible reference about John the Baptist, when Gabriel was talking to Zechariah, he was literally just, Zechariah had a good point. Like, just imagine if that was you. You're up in age. Everyone has told you couldn't have a child. Society has told you couldn't have a child, and then you mess around and have a child. And better yet, you can't speak until the child is born. And so I was arrested by that, because I said, I was like, wow, that's amazing. How many times do we have the self-doubt and self-belief because of what other people said is not possible? And some of the time that those people have never had or are doing the thing that you're doing. I've addressed this on multiple times, but I think this is probably going to be a collection or a playlist of self-belief, and continually to work on your confidence, continually to put yourself in a mindset of having a high level of effort and high belief, because a level of effort just simply states is that you are willing to do the work. You are willing to make the necessary sacrifices. And when that is not enough, you make even more sacrifices until you get to the thing you said you wanted. And yes, along the way, you're going to procrastinate. Along the way, you're going to mismanage your time. Along the way, you're going to have missteps. Along the way, you're going to fail miserably. But it's on the way. Have you ever been on the way somewhere and, or on your phone, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go I need to go research this, or I need to look this up, and you get inundated with a Instagram notification or a Facebook notification or a YouTube notification, and you forgot what you was looking for. And that's what happens, family. I'll use that analogy to tie into the belief is that when you set out, you all confident, you geared up, and you like, yep, this is what I'm about to do. And then people tell you, or I'll say society smacks you in the face and says, you can't do that. Why would you won't even have no experience in that? Who do you think you are in doing that? And you start falling guilty or prey to what other people are saying. And then that seeps in and sets in into you personally. And now all of a sudden you start having a lack of doubt. You start having a lack of belief in, like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I did make a bad decision, but in actuality, they're not doing the thing that you were going to do. See, now if that's coming from somebody that's doing the thing that you should do, first of all, they wouldn't even tell you that, because they would be excited for you that you are going after your dreams, that you've made a decision to go after your goals, and you're putting a plan in place, but not a plan of a long plan. You know, one of my quotes that's on my board, and I still don't even know who said it, where they said 95% of the time you should be doing, and the other 5% you should be planning. I'll slow it down because maybe I missed you. What I said is that 95% of the time you should be doing, and 5% you should be planning. See, this whole time before I jumped into this whole podcasting and YouTube thing, because I'm definitely taking the YouTube, after hearing those clips from Ye, after, doing some research, I'm like, I'm not going hard enough. But I was actually thinking about that. If I'm keeping it all the way a buck, earlier this morning, I said, I'm not going hard enough. Yeah, I'm getting up at 2 a.m. Yeah, I'm going and doing the things, but I'm not going hard enough because there's things that I still are leaving on the table undone. There's things I'm still procrastinating at that are frustrating, but yet I understand I'm on a journey, but still on the journey, I still have to course correct. Still on the journey, I have to keep working and getting better, and not give up because of where I'm at, but give in to where I'm going. Ooh, I like that. I said I can't give up of where I'm at, but give in to where I'm going. Family, where are you going? What are you doing? Because you have to be constantly learning. Things are constantly changing faster and faster than they ever were. I mean, when I first learned Microsoft Word have changed so many times. Excels have changed so many times, but the foundation of learning what has changed has not. What do you mean by that, ED? I'm glad I have an intelligent audience, because I know I do, that would ask a question like that. What it means is that you have to be a lifetime learner. It's not I went to school, I got this degree, or I got, I worked in this industry for 10 years and, I know it all. No, you have to be constantly learning and reading, and not just learning just to be learning. Cause I had a big thing about that. Like, I was just so excited about the learning aspects, but I wasn't taking immediate action by executing. Once I started applying the two together by learning and executing, I realized that, oh wow, this is amazing. Because see, family, you can also you can get a dopamine rush from learning some interesting things and having the conversations with certain people, like you know what it is. But it's the people that are doers. It's the doers in this world that actually get the credit. It's the doers in the world that actually have the resume of experience to say, well, yeah, I've done that. Why do you think when people go to school and get a degree, and then they go out into the workforce and they realize that what they learned in school is sometimes not applied in the actual workforce? What I mean by that is that the challenges that you have of the soft skills, I really hate using the word soft skills, but it's more of the skill set of having an attitude and the attitude of wanting to constantly learn, because you have to learn the organization, you have to learn the people that you're working with, and that you don't learn that in school. You don't learn about the people dynamics that you're actually integrating with and doing the actual particular job role. So all I'm saying to you, family, is continually work on your self-beliefs, work on breaking them and limiting your self-belief and self-doubt. Because if you make a decision that this is something that you want to do, you want to go after that dream, you set a goal that you wanted to go after, don't give up. Don't get upset because you've had some stumbles. At least you're moving forward momentum. You're doing more than someone that's sitting on that couch. You're doing more than somebody that's actually sitting there just watching YouTube all day, which I love YouTube. But what I'm saying is the point of the doers in the world are the ones that have the experience to tell you what can be put in those books. Now, there are people that have theories, there's a lot of theories out there, but let me ask you a question. If you were going to hire somebody that had to fix your plumbing in your house or in your house, would you hire somebody that had theories or somebody that actually did the job? I'll let you think about that for a minute. Well, I'll leave you with this thought, family. I know I kept you too long and I apologize, but this was getting too good to me. What I understood and what I realized is that the more that you work on your high belief of saying, I really believe I can do this, and you put actionable steps in place, and you start making the willingness to sacrifice. But during your sacrifice, don't take it to extreme, because that's another thing I'm working through and working on, because I get obsessed about things. And so I'm running, as we always talk about here, is running experiments, and I'm running experiments to see, what's a good schedule that's going to push me, that's going to be challenging, that's going to make me uncomfortable, yet at the same time, I can grow. So I'm doing this experiment, and we'll see what happens, family. I got the dogs in the background. They going crazy. I think they loving the message as well. They're giving me a lot of shout outs. So I'll leave you with this message again, family. I hope this inspires someone, because I really believe, no. I know there's somebody out there that's been thinking like, I'm not good enough. I don't have the skill set. I don't even know if this is possible. Well, I'm going to tell you, somebody, you can do it, but you have to do the work. You have to do the action. It's not going to happen overnight. And I would never try and sell you anything that'll be able to be a quick fix. I'll never sell you anything to tell you that in a week you'll be able to get over any depression or anxiety, or in a month. It's going to take time, but you have to be willing to invest the time, because time is the only element you will never get back. Until next time, this has been your boy ED. I hope you enjoyed the ride. I know I did. Thank you for sitting there on the passenger side and letting me vent. Thank you for the opportunity, for just taking the time to listen to me, because I know there are a lot of podcasts. I know there's a lot of information out there, but you choose to lock in with me. So because you locked in with me, I hope I delivered a good show for you today. Until next time, peace.